Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the podcast where the laws of nature are just mere suggestions, and the impossible is a simple promise. For centuries, magic was hidden in the shadows, but for now, 7 masters, each a legend in their own right, step into the light to challenge your reality. The Illusionists is a touring magic production which features a rotating cast of 5 to 8 magicians who all specialize in specific branches of magic, from stage illusions to mind reading, even Houdini's masterful escape illusions, as well as comedic magic. The theatrical production The Illusionists revolutionized the presentation of magic on the global stage by transforming a fragmented collection of specialty acts into a unified, high-octane theatrical spectacle, achieving record-breaking success on Broadway and as an international touring franchise. The show was conceived by creative producer Simon Painter and director Neil Dorward with a clear goal: to apply the production values and market strategy of a major contemporary spectacle, like Cirque du Soleil or a rock tour, to the art of magic. Now, instead of creating a show centered on a single resident magician, kind of like David Copperfield in Vegas, the concept was to assemble an all-star team of the world's best specialty performers. Each magician was branded with a distinct modern comic book style archetype. Examples would include the inventor, the mentalist, the daredevil, the manipulator, and the trickster. The show wasn't just about the tricks. It was about the presentation. This meant combining classic illusion and massive production elements. First, the production integrated large LED video screens, live video feeds for close-up tricks, and spectacular light and sound design to create an immersive arena-style atmosphere. Secondly, the show features a relentless, non-stop pace, with illusionists rapidly transitioning between grand stage illusions and intimate sleight of hand. Now, The Illusionist premiered in 2012 at the Sydney Opera House in Australia, validating the supergroup format. Its immediate commercial success proved the concept's broad appeal across demographics. The producers consistently refined the show on subsequent international tours, rotating the cast to find the most dynamic combination of performers and acts. This rotational model became a core part of the franchise's flexibility and longevity. Now, the show was the first realization of the all-star team concept, featuring a line of international specialists, each with a distinct persona, including large-scale grand illusionist Mr. Brett Daniels, the anti-conjurer shock illusionist and gore-themed magician Dan Sperry, death-defying escape artist who recreated Houdini's most famous stunts, Mr. Andrew Basso, a unique, self-designed illusionist and comedian otherwise known as the inventor, Mr. Kevin James. A classic elegant stage magician goes by the name of James Demare. A mind-reading and psychological master of ceremonies himself, otherwise known as the trickster, Mr. Jeff Hobson. The record-breaking run provided the momentum and proof of concept needed to launch the show onto the world stage. Now, the crucial step in scaling the show was a successful debut on the world's most prestigious theater stage. In 2014, The Illusionists Witnessed the Impossible opened on Broadway. It proved to not only be an enormous hit, particularly during the lucrative holiday season, but it set records for the highest grossing magic show in Broadway history. Yes, the production did not just bring magic back to the Broadway stage, it fundamentally redefined the commercial viability and theatrical style of magic for the modern era on the Great White Way. Now, prior to The Illusionists, modern Broadway magic was typically a showcase for a single star. Witness the Impossible, however, pioneered the format of the Magic Supergroup, featuring 7 international magicians. This ensemble format provided audiences with a fast-paced variety show structure that offered a constant turnover of skill sets and a wider appeal than a single performer could ever provide. The production, well, it was a smash hit, reportedly recouping its $1.75 million investment in just over 3 weeks of performances. The Illusionists Witness the Impossible broke the house record for the highest weekly gross at the Marquis Theater, taking in well over $1 million during its initial run. Now guys, this is where magic was redefined. The production rejected the traditional top hat and tail style that we all know, embracing a contemporary rock concert aesthetic to appeal to younger audiences. Now, the show extensively used a live video camera and large LED screens to capture close-up sleight-of-hand illusions, which was a necessity in a large Broadway theater. The presence of a live rock and rap band and modern punk goth-influenced costumes created a high-energy, non-stop experience, which was a departure from the genteel presentation of traditional magic on stage. Now wait, I know some of you out there may be thinking, wait, video screens that show close-up sleight of hand? Isn't that like ruining the trick? Well, in the context of the Broadway scale spectacle, the screens are generally considered an enhancement rather than a detriment. The show relies on a blend of modern digital technology and traditional illusions to create its grand atmosphere. The use of large video screens in The Illusionists addresses a fundamental problem of performing complex magic in a large theatrical venue like a Broadway house. The screens basically allow the audience, particularly those in the upper tiers or the back rows, to see intricate sleight of hand and close-up illusions like card manipulation that would otherwise be impossible to view. They're also used for high-energy video segments and transitions, helping to maintain a fast rock concert pace and providing dramatic introductions for the next illusionist. So in essence, the video screens become a deliberate part of the illusion itself, particularly for acts like The Futurist, who uses pre-recorded video of himself to create digital transpositions and time-bending effects. Now, some purists argue that the camera is a mediator of the experience, and the live video feed could technically be used to hide or distract from the trick. Or, the reliance on the screen can make the show feel more like a television special or a stadium concert than a traditional theatrical production. For classic acts, some even feel the screens diminish the authenticity and immediate awe of a simple, unamplified live theatrical event. Well, I can assure you though, while the screens change the nature of the magic from a traditional intimate performance to a high-tech spectacle, their necessity for close-ups and their integration into modern illusions are a key to the show's massive appeal and grand scale. The Illusionists employs a more is more approach, using sophisticated high-end theatrical techniques to elevate the magic to a major arena-style event. Where the magic is redefined is seen in acts like The Daredevil or The Grand Illusionist, where the use of fire, explosions, and smoke effects aren't just for flair, but are often used as misdirection or to punctuate a climactic moment in a stunt or disappearance. The inclusion of a live rock band provides a constant pulsating score. So really, the music is an integral special effect, building suspense for acts like the water torture cell escape and adding adrenaline-fueled energy to the faster, grander illusions. The show also features elaborate and distinctly modern costume designs that help create the unique superhero-esque persona for each magician. These visual cues are crucial in establishing the theatrical brand of each act. However, the true spectacle is that the show invests heavily in elaborate, full-scale apparatuses for classic illusions, such as the sheer size and danger of the glass-enclosed Chinese water torture cell, innovations by the inventor to perform the classic cutting a person in half without an obvious box, oh yes, allowing the audience to see the apparatus and the separated body parts very clearly. Who could forget levitation and disappearance boxes? While classic tricks, they are presented with powerful lighting and a contemporary design to maximize their visual impact. Now, the show itself was engineered for efficient touring. Because the cast rotates constantly and the format is essentially a high-end variety show, the production can be slightly modified to fit different venues, from grand Broadway theaters to smaller regional houses, without sacrificing the Vegas spectacle experience. This brand recognition makes it a reliable box office draw across North America, Europe, Latin America, and Asia. The ability to swap out performers with acts specializing in grand illusion, close-up, mentalism, or escapology ensures the show remains fresh. It always allows for seasonal themes, and it gives the franchise immense longevity as a global commercial phenomenon. The magic thus becomes a business model, a repeatable, high-quality, ensemble-driven theatrical experience. The images, the awe, the impossible events you witnessed, they're all real. They happened right here on this podcast, and yet you still don't know how. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the true magic of the Illusionists. We thank you for joining us today, and may the wonder you felt linger long after the curtain closes. All I can say, folks, is go witness the impossible.